Hey everyone, Carl Brown here again. Today we're going to start talking about intervals on the guitar. What is an interval? Well, if we play the notes of a scale, so if we go to our 3-note per string scales that we've already covered here, if you don't have that information, please go to the site at guitarlessons365.com. Just go to the Advanced Lessons Archive and you'll see all the 3-note per string scale forms that you're going to need to follow along with this, as well as the tab for this actual lesson, so you can get all the third patterns going. Now, what we do with intervals is when we play normal scales, just basically one note after the other. That's great, and that's how we practice, and it builds facility. And when we're improvising, I think I one time heard that it was literally like 85% of the notes that you hear in music is usually the next note up or down in the scale, in the melody, for when you're improvising or whatever. So what you can do to kind of practice and try to break up that kind of monotony of just up and down the scales is to play intervals. What an interval basically is going to be, if we study these when we did chords, is say you play the first tone in the scale, and then you play the third tone in the scale. So you're going to skip the second. And then we start on the second tone of the scale now, skip the third, and play the fourth tone. So we have this 1, 3, 2, 4, and then 3, 5, 4, 6, and so forth. And we just skip a note, and then we go back to the note we missed, and then skip up a third from that one. So you're basically playing a third off, up a third from every note in the scale, and then we come back down in thirds as well. So you can do this for all intervals. So what we're going to do here is, this is the beginning of the interval series. This is thirds, when we're going to do fourths and fifths and sixths and sevenths as well, and we're going to apply them to the 3-note per string forms. This is going to really make you'll notice that when you're improvising and stuff, a lot of times you play scales just straight up and down. So this is going to break some of that up and get some of these patterns when you're doing more interval skips. You're playing larger leaps between the notes. It's also great for ear training. It starts getting the sounds of what a run of thirds and fourths and fifths and sixths sound like. All right, so this lesson is basically just so you can see the way I finger playing thirds with these 3-note per string scales. And so you can just get the actual music, the tablature for all these third exercises, and then follow along with the video to see how I'm actually fingering the notes. All right, so let's get started. We're going to do this with alternate picking. So starting with a downstroke, down up on 1 and 5, then the 3rd fret on the 6th, and the 1. I'm not going to go through it this slow. I just kind of want you to see how I'm fingering this stuff. 1 and 4, then 2 and 1, 4 and 2, 1 and 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4. And right here I do a roll. I shift my first finger up in 3, 3. And then another roll with my 3rd finger. And then 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4. Then I use the exact same fingerings of the way down. I'm going to start with the downstroke again and just go down, up, down, up, down, up, all the way down. Now, you should practice this. I started with the downstroke, went down, then up, and then up here when I got up top, I did the same thing down. A good exercise is to reverse that as well. So you can start with an upstroke, down, up, down. That's a little bit more difficult when you're going up because we're doing this inside the string picking. And then we come back down with outside the string picking, so this is actually easier to pick it starting with an upstroke on the way down, if you like this. little bit easier on the picking hand. All right, so I'm going to fly through these real quick so you can do that, pick each of them and all these in that way. So here's how I finger this one. I'm going to go slow. This is the shape built off the second. Sorry, we're doing all this in F major. So that was the shape built off the root. Here comes the shape built off the second off of G. Right here, I'm going to jump up 2 frets. And then back down. All right, if you want to write these fingerings out along with the tablature, that'd be great. Let's shape it off the third right here, off of A. Just using the same finger on the way down, then up. Shape it off the fourth, off of B flat. It'll roll there. Oh, sorry. Shape it off the fifth. Sixth. Oh, sorry. Sorry. And the last one, shape it off the seventh. Roll there. All right, so I realize I flew through those things, but what this is really for is just to slow down, watch it a few times along with the tablature so you can just know how to finger all those notes of the thirds. And tomorrow we're going to check out fourths, which is going to get more difficult as the intervals get larger. All right, so have fun. Please go to the site, and any donations, anything so I can keep these things going, would be much appreciated. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.